A very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. Coming live from Florida Cricket Oval in Mt.Meru. The clash is between Mt.Meru and Mt.Kirimanjaro. Let us see what happened at the toss.
This is the second game on match day 12 of the East African Safari here at Florida Cricket Oval. And it is a clash between Mt.Kirimanjaro and Mt.Meru. The two captains are here with me, Conrad Rubwama, the captain for Mt.Meru, Peter Ochen, the captain for Kilimanjaro, and Elizabeth Nakibule, the match umpire, and we've come for the toss. Heads is the call, and heads is on top. Peter, you've won the toss. What will you be doing first and why?
Shall bat first as usual because I used to batting first, and the wicket looks to be a batting track, so we shall try and come and put a defendable score. Yeah.
Yesterday you were not around and your team didn't win the game. What do you hope to do better? What changes have you made to make sure that you bounce back to winning ways? Because it's been 2 games and you've been losing both.
Yeah, I will come in and Nasa will sit. So I will also come and try and add to whatever they did yesterday. So I will also come and add on it.
All the best, Peter, and go well.
Thank you.
Conrad, if you had gotten a chance of winning the toss, what would you have done first and why?
I was going to bowl first because I lost a few batters. Some batters went to other tournaments, so my team is full of good bowlers. So I'll come and make sure they put up a good score for my team. They come down and chase it down.
Which thought are you looking at limiting Mt.Kirimanjaro to as we head into this match?
I think looking at the tournament, Mt.Kirimanjaro has been batting well, so I'll be limiting it below 120.
Thank you so much and all the best.
All right, thank you.
And that is the news coming from the center. Mt.Kirimanjaro has won the toss and opted to bat first.
That was Ivan Cyprian Sajabi with the toss. My name is Solomon Lubwama Chigoze, and I will be taking you through this afternoon. And as the Swahili say, habari za mchana. In Luganda we say osibyo tiano. Plenty of action coming your way in this clash between the table toppers, Mt.Kirimanjaro, coming off that loss to a team that was bottom yesterday, but now have moved off the bottom. That is Rwenzori, now in 5th place, notching up 3 back-to-back wins. Kilimanjaro will look to get back to winning ways. Umpires Trevor Makchanja and Elizabeth Nakibule out there in the middle. We will be bowling off from the first end. An exciting encounter. This is opening pair is Martin Boji and Raymond Kagera. And this will be the first ball. Mustafa Mutwalibi. Starts off with a freebie there. The first Franzo are on board for Mt.Kirimanjaro. They will have to bowl tight. Mt.Kirimanjaro missing the services of Robert Yowidi away on under 19 duty. That is taking place at Entebbe Cricket Oval. Uganda under 19, Rwanda under 19, and Uganda emerging involved in a tournament, high performance tournament there. Will be greatly missed for his work behind the stumps and up the top order. Left without scoring a half century, threatened to do plenty of times, but it is still wayward there from Mustafa. Just bowled 1 Lego delivery so far. The men in yellow, Mt.Meru, in contrast, ringing the changes as well. Conrad Lubwama led This team features teams comprised of senior players and a mixture of youth, but the youth now returning back for the school term, so some are missing out. But this tournament will conclude next week. Mustafa Mutwalibi now gets it right on the money there. Boji Martin off the mark there, plays one to square leg. Finding the good area there finally, Mustafa Mutwalibi, that ball kicking off there. Surprising, Raymond Kagera takes evasive action and another dot ball there. Variable bounce so far. We saw the previous ball kicking off the turf and then this one staying low, but they run by as indicated by the umpire. An opportunity there dropped. Bowling body line, that ball coming back into and surprising Boji Martin. Fine feather there, diving effort from the wicket keeper, not completing that catch, and they scramble through for a run. But at the end of the first over, it is 6 runs for no loss. Mustafa Mutwalibi going for 5 there.
Second game on match day 12 of the East African Safari. An interesting clash between Mt.Meru and Mt.Kirimanjaro. Kilimanjaro coming into this game at the back of a loss yesterday, where they failed to chase against Mount Renzori. Eric Matovu will be coming to bowl the second over of this game. Kilimanjaro has won the toss and opted to bat first. They will be looking forward to putting some runs on board. Third man and fine leg both at the boundary.
Eric Matovu changing ends. Usually comes in from the forest end, and bowlers usually tend to have a preference, but this time coming in from the highway end, starts off with a dot ball.
With the breeze blowing across this ground, we'll see that ball swing a lot there for Eric Matovu.
Most certainly it is characteristic of afternoons at Florida Cricket Oval. We have a breeze blowing right from this forest, from Ginger end towards Kampala end, and if you can exploit those conditions as a swing bowler, You have assistance there.
Yeah, a little full there for Matov Eric. And the part-time wicket keeper not getting hold into it. It is by one taken.
Boji has been playing a wonderful shot there of the forest. And the trees are moving, indicating the breeze. Glorious afternoon to play cricket. That wicket was coming, and Raymond Kagera perishes.
Yeah, no foot movement there for Raymond Kagera. He was caught stuck in the crease. And Eric Matov picks up the first wicket. Kilimanjaro already on the back foot as they do lose that first wicket. Didn't keep a very good shape, Raymond Kagera.
Both openers guilty of playing balls, but with their heads up in the sky, not transferring that weight onto the front foot. Clean balled him, middle stump uprooted there. A look at some of the spectators here, members of Mount Renzori, were victorious in the morning encounter. A nail biter between them and Mount Karisimbi. That match going up to the 18th over in the run chase. Peter Chen missed in yesterday's encounter, will face his first ball. Wide indicated by umpire Nachibule there. And a tough day already for the standing wicket keeper. Of course, Mt.Meru also missing Eric Mukisa, away for under 19 duties.
And they are danger man, the Kenyan international, Branley Kavu. Currently away for another tournament. He may come back if they do make it to the playoffs. But the spark was there for Eric Matov to continue. The weights down the leg.
So with the breeze blowing upwards towards the pavilion, you see that the ball is continuing on its trajectory down the leg, so it needs to adjust the line that is bowling to try to aim for the fourth or fifth line stump, and then that ball will continue drifting into the body of the batter. That is the ball there, quick and on the money. Back of a length delivery there to Boji Martin. These two well versed with each other, students and teammates at St. Cornelius Kalagala, unable to come through the qualifiers last year for the boys' schools cricket week. Hopefully this time they will make it. Another bumper there to complete the over. Great adjustment there from Eric Matovu. Back-to-back dot balls to complete the over. And after two, it is 10 for the loss of one. Martin Boji, 2 in 9. Finding it tough going. Peter Chen yet to face any ball. Mtwalibi will continue from the forest end. Well placed there by Peter Ochen to get off the strike. Gully and point and slips are very productive areas for most teams.
There was a half chance to take the catch there by Conrad Ruwama, but the ball lands safe, giving them a chance to take another single.
Boji found caught in between going forward and going back, but continues to play that ball and lofted catch there. Well enough, it fell into safe ground. This is the second day we are playing on this wicket. Still has some grass there, and it is a little bit quicker. Body line approach from Mutwalibi to Ochen, giving him no room whatsoever. Has long levers and able to access those balls wide off stump and pulls those balls down the leg side. Great work so far from Mutwalibi. Trying out the knuckleball there, but strays down the leg side. Good to see that he's not just bowling regular run-of-the-mill deliveries. He has trying to work out some varieties. Overcorrection there from the youngster. Should just return to that body line, attacking the stumps. It proved effective at the start. Should do him good. Continue with that. Don't need to change a lot. Thick inside 8 there. Muted appeals, but that is the line he should be bowling at. Another bumper there from Mustafa Mutwalibi. Martin Boji finds himself in the wars, and a welfare check will be carried out by umpire Trevor Mark Chanja. Concussion test. Yep. No boundaries have been scored yet in this encounter. Another look at that ball rising and surprising Martin Boji. The other Boji has scored a brisk 40 in the run chase by Mount Renzori against Karisimbi, and also a teammate to Martin Boji, so should be able to take a leaf from his namesake's book. Keep at the wicket there. Wait for that ball that is in your slot. Try to put the pressure back onto the bowling, but at the moment it is all Mt.Meru bowlers' way. Edgar Mudola receiving some treatment there. But a glorious day to play cricket. Of course, East African T20 Challenge proudly brought to you by Dafaped as premier sponsors. Mukono Cricket Community are the organizers. Other sponsors are Kingsley Children's Medical Center in Mukono. Of course, not forgetting Deep End Sports TV, from which you are watching this match live. They are streaming and broadcasting partners. Everything being curated by Cricket Uganda. We will continue with Mutwalibi. Peter Ochen's stay at the crease is a brief one. Bowled him, that ball keeping low. The variable bounce there at work, but a good ball there. Brushes the wickets there. Off stump. What a line to bowl, and a good wicket there for Mustafa Mutwalibi. That wicket marking the end of the over. Number 3, 16 for 2 for Mt.Kirimanjaro, who won the toss and elected to bat first. Finding the going a bit difficult, the returning Peter Ochen unable to stay for a while at the crease there. Yesterday they failed to overhaul 119 runs, managing only to score 68 runs. But with the demise of Peter Ochen, it is the turn of Collins Osi Okwalinga to do some batting. Very poor foot movement there from Ochen, trying to create some space instead of playing forward there. Eric Maltovu was set to continue from the highway end. He's a strike bowler, a man who breaks partnerships, makes things happen when he has a ball in hand. Started off with a wicket, conceded 3 in his first over. Opportunity there, Skyer there, the rest is on. But the first boundary of this innings from the bat of Boji Martin, Samwidi Thonofa played beautifully over covers. That ball ending up in the hoarding of our advertisers, Dafabet. Shots that money can't buy. Is this the shackles being removed off Boji? Quicker there, trying to guide it through slip region. Vacant at the moment with only third man there for protection. That is the ball that Matovu has to bowl to Boji, back of a length and turning into the body of the batter, cramping for space. The pill comes in unmoved. The umpire is Boji playing, I beg your pardon, moving his feet outside of off stump instead of moving across and trying to play dead bat all glance that ball there. to square. Opportunity going beyond the flailing arm of the captain. Another boundary in this over. Conrad Lubwama there in your shot, trying to go up and catch. Two boundaries and two dot balls in this over so far. Very interesting contest. And that is the ball there. One for the over indicates umpire Elizabeth Nachibule. Boji taking evasive action there from the responsible of Eric Matovu. I love to see bowlers bowling angry. Use every arsenal at your disposal. Try and make life very uncomfortable for the batter. Extras on offer from the boys in yellow and blue. Buys. Dot ball to the bowler, but team run conceded there. And after 4 overs, it is 25 for the loss of 2 wickets for Mount Kilimanjaro, who won the toss, elected to bat first. Raymond Kagera and Peter Ochen already back in the hat, missing the services of the danger man Robert Owili away on under 19 duty in Entebbe in that emerging team's high performance camp. Boji Martin finally breaking the shackles, picking up 2 boundaries in that over. Unchanged from the Forest End, Mustafa Mutwalibi. Well played there from Boji, playing bat pad. The projected score now being 120 runs, a little short by 10 to the past score of 130. But if the previous 2 matches are anything to go by, if you can cross the 100 score mark, then you are in business. You have something to bowl at. And that will be a wide from the bowler, and doing the good work that he did in the previous 2 balls. Consistency is the name of the game. Change nothing if the batter is playing and missing. That run turned down by Boji Martin, going to the danger zone. Mid-on in business there to restrict them. Boji swinging his bat feet away from the pitch of the ball. Beaten by the pace there from Mustafa. Doubles, no runs coming yet off the bat in this over. Another extra there. Goes aerial there, and that ball should cross the boundary. Picked up the line and pitch there quickly. Played through and picked up that boundary. Well played on the up by Boji. Now racing to 16 in 23. Final ball of the over. Balled it into the surface quick. Left well alone by Boji. 5 overs completed. 31 for the loss of 2. Projected score now 124 for Mount Kilimanjaro. Some acceleration there in the penultimate over of the power play. Bowling on the trot is Eric Matovu against the old man about town, Collins Osio Kwalinga. A man whose leadership is unquestionable for Mount Kilimanjaro, offering experience. Half tracker there, pulled well and effectively by the veteran Collins Okwalinga. Turned well onto that one in a flash. Finally off the mark. And what a way to do that with a boundary. There should be a response from Matovu. Better there, quick, trying to cut it away, but the youngster quicker this time round. Interesting. One is at the tail end, evening years of his career. One is at the start. And number 2, opportunity to catch, should catch it, makes a meal of it, and it will be 6 runs being indicated there. Yes, that ball going beyond the fielder, guilty of moving off the rope, because that would have come just straight down his throat. But the first maximum of this innings, and you feel that there is some life now in the innings. That is the line. Bowling a 5th force stamp there, that he should keep bowling at Matovu, because every time he's bowled there, Okwalinga has swung and missed. Consistency required there from the young bowler. Dot ball to complete the over there. Eric Matovu has bowled 3 on the trot, coming from the highway end. Picked up 1 for 19 so far. but 6 overs and the power play completed. 39 for the loss of 2 wickets. Some rebuilding being done by Collins Okwalinga, 18-6 at the moment, and Martin Boji 16-24. The projected score now racing to 130, matching the past score of this competition and also the oval. A change of equipment there for Collins Okwalinga, but we will see Conrad Lubwama, the captain, coming in to the attack. Some spin now, sends out deep square, a wide deep mid wicket, long on and long off. Continues to park the offside. Has fly slip, galley point, cover point and covers in play. No ball indicated. That ball going way beyond the prepared strip. And free hit being indicated there. Opportunity for Kwalinga to muscle anything on offer from Lubwama. But I expect a quicker one there from Lubwama. Has a variety of paces. Balls it in and out. Goes straight back up. And that will be punished. Second boundary maximum for Team Kilimanjaro. And for Collins Okwalinga, down on one knee there, going big, reaping the rewards. The ball within the slot there. And then the magic happens. What a fight back from Lubwama. Outside feather there. Part-time keeper snares that one, and that will be that for Collins Okwalinga. A quick 14 in 7, striking at 200, but you feel that he needed to bat long and deep to give his team a chance of reaching that projected score. That is the previous ball, the free hit, to which he muscled and got a maximum. But the very next ball falling, edging it behind to a keeper. Good work there. Third over falls. I beg your pardon. Third wicket falls for Mt.Kirimanjaro. 47 for 3 at the moment. Great bowling there, inducing that feather intelligent from Lubwama there. Well played down the ground, mid-off in business, and Augustine Mujuni off the mark there. Draws the man forward. Dead bat offered by Boji, and it will be a dot ball. Final ball of the first over from Lubwama. Flighted one there. Opportunity to catch. A lazy from Matovu. And that would have been a very beautiful over to Lubwama. Hope they do not come back to bite them, these dropped opportunities. Matovu claiming that the sun was in his eyes. Quicker ball there, but going wider of the tram lines. Lubwama, final ball of this over to come. Boji goes forward, does not cover the bat to face back to the bowler, and that ball missing. 7 overs, 51 for 3 for Mount Kilimanjaro. A lot of bowling in the Mt.Meru ranks with Mudola, Andrew Hajaguju, Nasul Damadi, all capable bowlers. But it will be Mudola coming from the highway end to replace Matovu. Attacking the stumps immediately. And the batters have to watch that ball carefully. Variable bounce has been at play. Slight shuffle there to get to the pitch of the ball. Drives it well down on the ground. Picks up one. No pace to work with there. Slapped down the ground there, but we'll pick up one. Clean up job being done by Andrew Hajaguju. Final ball of the over from Mudola. Tidy over so far. Considered 2. Play to the back foot, only able to find the man. Mudola will concede only 2 of his first. After 8, it is 53 for 3. Augustine Mujuni joining Martin Boji. Mujuni 2 in 4, scoring at strike rate of 50%. Martin Boji 19 in 31. Approaching the 60 mark strike rate. Projected score still above 130 at 133. Lubwama balls one, gives Andrew Hajaguju the opportunity. Coming from the forest end, and the cries come out from the stand that this is the over to target, but very, very deceptive bowler Andrew Hajaguju is. Should be one there. Started off with that half tucker. Bowled it flat at that time. Well played there by Augustine Mujuni. Good ball there from Andrew. Committing himself early is Martin Boji. So that by that ball comes, he has no other option but either to play a dead bat or play it over the head of the bowler. Plays one in the gap. Hesitation between the running, but that should have been a second run. Turn down there. Final ball of the over to come. Well stopped by Muaga at covers to keep it to a dot ball. 56 for the loss of 3 after 9 overs for Mount Kilimanjaro. Mudola will continue bowling with his hat on. Bowling some leg spin there, Mudola. Two dot balls on the trot. Scoreboard pressure now onto the batter. Opportunity there. Good running between the wickets. That ball having fallen safely before Nasul Damani diving forward. The appeal comes in. Umpire Elizabeth Nachibule raises her finger, saying that that is plumb. Of course, bowling leg spin, Edgar Mudola. It might have appeared that that ball is continuing down the leg side, but it straightens, and Mujuni has to perish for a pedestrian 3 in 6. 57 for 4 after 9.4 overs. Caught plumb there. Umpire did not hesitate to raise her finger. Mount Kilimanjaro in all sorts of trouble. 4 wickets falling. 57 runs that they have put up on the board. Current run rate now dropping to just below 6, and projected score also falling from the 130 at one point to 118. They need to keep pushing because there are plenty of balls to play with. Just needs to find one man. Boji Martin is there. Nathan Mupere, the new man in, plays well off his feet, has that whip, uses his wrists quite well. Should be able to navigate the leg spin from Mudola. Final ball of the over. Playing on the back foot. The keeper unable to collect that ball well, with the batters mixing up their signals. They survive to bat on, and Mt.Meru, the men in yellow and blue, have left a lot to be desired with their fielding. Dropped catches, missed stamping opportunities, missed run-outs. But at the halfway stage, 10 overs completed. 58 for the loss of 4. Plays the ball to the fielder. Boji Martin well down the track, continues. The ball comes in, falls short of the gloves of the waiting keeper. Hajuguju will continue. Played into the surface, not cleanly picked up there by the man and covers. The batter guilty of staying in his crease, not moving 1 inch. Trying to play off the back foot all the time. Should be mindful of that variable bounce, with some keeping low. And I told you that Andrew Hajaguju looks very deceptive. His balls look to be there to be hit, but offers you nothing whatsoever. And finally, there's still 1 run. Another dot ball there. Hajuguju bowling an inspired spell, has conceded only 1 so far in this over. Final ball. Thick inside edge there. Fine leg. Looking for the ball at his feet, but keeps it to a dot ball there. Andrew Hajaguju has figures. Ball 2. Picked up none so far, but conceded only 2 runs. Economy of 2 so far. 11 overs completed. 59 for the loss of 4 wickets for Mount Kilimanjaro. The men in cream and red, that radiant red of their trousers, you can see them from a mile away. Good work that they did in the early encounters, had them win 6 on the trot, firmly at the top of the log. That is the whip from Mupere. Diving effort there, well done by Rubwama. Serves 2 runs for his team. Leading by example there. Played on the onside there well, and the dive comes in. Flighted this time round. Andrew Muwaga guilty party there. absconding its duties of serving one in the ring. Boji has fallen into the trap of committing himself early, offering dead bat and picking up no runs, chewing up balls. Strays down the leg side. Budola. I should wait for that ball to come and then decide on what shot to play rather than just going forward all the time. Better there. Mupere using just the arms with no foot movement whatsoever. Unable to make contact with that ball. Flighted one there. Leading edge dropped there by the wicket keeper. And at the end of 12 overs, the score is 64 for the loss of 4. Nathan Mupere 5 in 10. Strike rate of 50. Martin Boji 23. A look at the leading performers there in the tournament. This being match day number 12. This is game number 24. 2 games played on each match day. And that is the dressing room for Mt.Kirimanjaro. Collins Okwaling, I beg your pardon. Already there offering counsel to the batters that are going to come in later. Andrew Hajuguju will continue. Magical spell of 4 runs conceded in 2 overs. Ball that one under the nose of Boji. Unable to get the ball away. Continues to chew up balls. But it is time he gets in onto the action. Opportunity to catch. Slip, missed. They will run 2, running hard there. Boji Martin. They should pick up another third, but Boji was uninterested. Well driven down the ground there by Martin Boji. finding a liking to that ball pitched up by Hajuguju, and it will be the final ball of the over. Nathan Mupere trying to access the onside will find the waiting Conrad Lubuama, keeps it to 1, and that is the end of the over. 68 for the loss of 4 wickets after 13 overs. 7 overs to play with for Mount Kilimanjaro. Try to push and get onto the 3-figure score. Psychological in nature to all cricket teams because it gives you a fighting chance. Nathan Mupere with that single off the last ball of the over retains strike, and he should do more of the batting now. Able to clear the ropes, find the boundaries, try and run very hard in between the wickets. Mid-wicket sent to cow corner to counter that shot onto the onside from Nathan Mupere. Long on and long off there. The appeal comes in. Poor foot movement so far from Nathan Mupere, shadowing that favored shot of his, playing to the onside, but should use his legs much more like Boji does. A whip off the feet, a deep square, and that should cross the boundary. Another boundary there for Team Kilimanjaro and Nathan Mupere. This time round, using the feet well to get to the pitch of that ball and swinging through. Thick inside the edge there. And they should run too. That ball narrowly missing the stumps. Mt.Meru, the men in yellow and dark blue. Opportunity to catch. Adding salt to injury, a dolly catch for Conrad Lubuama at long on. Spilled there. Going aerial. Driven well down the ground, Mupere. Lubuama unable to get to, trying to throw the ball up in the air before he had it under control. Full there to Martin Boji, plays it in the space. Well done by Muaga, coming from a deep mid wicket. $78 for 4 after 14 overs. 6 overs, 36 balls to play with for Mount Kilimanjaro. 22 away from the magical 3 figures. Edgar Mudola bowled on the trot, conceded 19 runs but picked up crucially a wicket. Good stuff there from the young man. First should be to get to 100, then whatever comes after that should be bonus to Mount Kilimanjaro. Keeps playing forward. Boji Martin keeps the scoreboard ticking. Some acceleration there from Nathan Mupede, 15 in 16, almost striking at 100%. Long on, not committing to that ball, letting it drop before his feet, but keeps it to 1. The shop to runs at covers and point has been opened. Each time the batters playing to that place, picking up runs. That is all wrists from Nathan Mupede. That ball wrapping the pads for leg by is indicated by the umpire. Drifts it wide and slow, but it will be the final ball of the over from Andrew. A flatter delivery there. Another run in that same region. Good running in between the wickets between Mupede and Buoji. 15 overs completed. $83 for the loss of 4 wickets. A short of the scoreboard there. 15 overs completed. 29 runs for Boji Martin, inching closer and closer to the 30s. With Mudola completing his allotted 4, Conrad Lubwama comes in to bowl from the highway end, sends out slips. Played on the back foot, but playing it into the ground, but they still managed to scamper for 1. Flighted one there from Mupere. Bowled completely, head up. Doesn't use his feet whatsoever, and will have to depart. 16 in 18 he's put on, but it is 84 for the loss of 5 after 15.2. Flighted delivery missed by Mupere there. Didn't move his feet at all, missed it out. And you miss a hit from Conrad Lubwama. Wily customer, that one. He will test you. He has those quicker balls, the googlies and the arm balls. So you need to be watching that ball carefully. But it is Huzaifa Adam, the new man in. Projected score now at 110. First order of business is surviving the remaining balls from Conrad Lubwama. Halfway through that over, 3 balls to come. Flighted one there, That ball missing the stumps by a whisker. Lubwama trying to tempt the batters into going for the big shots, but has catchers out there at deep square, cow corner, long on and long off. Another flighted ball there. Goes extremely wide there. They scamper, and that will be 2 wides. Keeping the scoreboard ticking there. Mt.Kirimanjaro looking to make amends for that loss against Mount Rwenzori in yesterday's morning encounter. You hope that you can get the losses out of your system, having started well, and magically no power there from Boji to that other flighted ball from Lubwama. And final ball of the over from Lubwama. Balled extremely wide. Good work there from the keeper. Try to bowl the quicker one this time round. Fine work from the keeper. Daniel Muhumuza doing a great job in the absence of Brian Likavu, the Kenyan international. Has been a star behind the stumps there. Well played there by Huzaifa to that full ball at the leg side. Pick up a double to complete this over. 87 for the loss of 5. Conrad Lubwama bowled 2, picked up 2 and conceded 14 so far. Conrad Lubwama choosing to bring in Nasul Damadi at this point, while Andrew Hajaguju had another over. But Damadi will have to be very economical. Because we are well into the tail end now of this first innings, in which Mount Kilimanjaro won the toss and elected to bat first. First ball from Nasul Damadi. Thick slice there. Quick running gives them a double there. Well driven down the ground. Classic shot from Martin Boji. And now that is into the 16th over, should be mindful just to try and carry his bat. Forget about personal milestones or anything, but just try and carry your bat. Continue to bat the way you have been doing. Same shot played by Huzaifa, copying and pasting Martin Boji there. Good running there from Huzaifa. Comfortably makes it back. Pick up another double. Hit and run so far in the middle out there with Huzaifa and Boji on strike. Now into the 90s for their team Mt.Kirimanjaro. But it will be the final ball of Damadi's first over. Thick outside edge there in business. Pick up another single there. 8 runs coming off that first Nasul Damadi over. Good stuff there for Mt.Kirimanjaro. Martin Boji now 38 in 58. Adam Huzaifa 4 in 6. And after 17 it is 98 for the loss of 5 wickets. Conrad Lubwama has picked up 2 wickets so far. Huzaifa playing back thick inside edge there and gets off strike to bring Martin Boji. If they can maintain that running in between wickets, running to each ball, that should be 6 runs, and anything extra to that is quite productive. Not playing that ball fully with his arms and bat looking back to the bowler. Goes over covers. Cut on the back foot there. And that boundary for broaches the 100 runs mark. Now 103 for Kilimanjaro, having lost 5 in the process. You feel that anything beyond this is a bonus. Trying to play late there to that ball which is close to his stumps. Very ill-advised shot, you would say. Quicker one there from Lubwama. And it is back-to-back dot balls. 5 runs have come off this Lubwama over so far. Drifts one. Goes on one knee. Unable to put it away. Should have met that ball while it's still in flight. But Woji 42 in 63, inching closer to his half century. Adam Huzaifa, the new man, in 5 in 7. Lubwama has bowled 3, picked up 2 wickets, conceded 22 runs, an economy of just above 7. Current run rate is 5.72 and projected score is 114. 12 balls will see us complete this first innings. 103 for the loss of 5 from Mt.Kirimanjaro. Used his feet well. Adam Huzaifa. The running, matching that impressive drive there by Huzaifa. A double picked up of the first ball of this over. Damadi adjusts and balls it away from Huzaifa, who seems to be choosing to come down the track to every ball. That scoreboard will be a welcome relief to the men in cream and red. Mt.Kirimanjaro, thick inside out edge there. The rest to keep it in is on. Well done by Sempala at third man. And they pick up only one run, surprisingly. Good work there from the youngster, Sempala. Member of Mukono Cricket Community, turns out for Africa Cricket Club. Nasul Damadi changing his mind about bowling that ball. Not comfortable with something. But Kilimanjaro needing to go hard at this point in time because of the few balls remaining. And Nasul Damadi with the celebration there, right on the money. Boji Martin losing his shape, departing for 42 in 63. Almost carrying his bat. But like they say, almost doesn't count. Yorker there from Nasul Damadi, approach off stump, bringing Mt.Meru back into this contest. 106 for the loss of 6 after 18.4. 8 more balls to play to complete this first innings. Mt.Kirimanjaro won the toss. Captain Peter Ochen decided to bat first. But a brilliant bowling in the power play by Mt.Meru had them just above 20 and losing 2 wickets. Most of the bulk being carried by Boji Martin. Mupere Nathan came in and tried to accelerate the innings. But a glorious shot of this oval found way in Nkokonjeru on the Nyenga Jinja Highway. Of course, Jinja City being the tourism city where we find the source of the Nile, as the mighty river starts to make its way up north, ending up in the Mediterranean Sea, passing through South Sudan, Egypt, also having tributaries in Ethiopia. Brilliant and magical catch there. 2 in 2 for Nasul Damadi. Jovan Komagum trying to go. Conrad Lubwama will be the happier. Arthur Muwaga, man at point, closing shop, getting his mitts round that ball. Well caught there by Arthur Muwaga, making up for all his misdemeanors in the field. Well appreciated by his team. And it is a hat-trick opportunity for Nasul Damadi. Going to his right there. Good reactions there, good reflexes. Jovan Komagum was all arms, no fit whatsoever, trying to create room, but Wagga Arthur equal to the task. Komagum departs for a golden duck. 106 for 7 after 18.5. One more ball of this Nasul Damadi over to navigate. Hat-trick ball and the opportunity to join Richard Sohera, the only man with a hat-trick and the figures of 6 for 23 coming in the first match of this tournament, the East African Safari Challenge Cup. Final ball and hat-trick ball there for Nasul Damadi. And that will be a dot ball, but what a brilliant over there from Nasul Damadi. Picked up 2 wickets in that one. Has conceded 11 so far in his 2. Haddad Chiberu and Adam Huzaifa, the new men in the penultimate over. The score is 106 for 7. Current run rate 5.58. Projected score just being above 110 at 112 runs. 6 more away for the men in cream and red, but it will be Lubwama to close out the innings. Coming down the track, and a stamping opportunity, but not given by the umpire. Huzaifa making ground quickly there, having come down the track. Dot ball it will be. Trying to go on one knee. Muhumuza completes that top edge skier from Huzaifa, trying to go big in the last over, but another wicket picked up for Conrad Lubwama. Bowled it at the leg stump. Huzaifa on one knee trying to sweep it over deep mid wicket. Top edges it. Another one bites the dust. 106 for 8 after 19.2 overs. 4 balls to complete this innings, with 2 wickets to pick up for the men in yellow and dark blue, Mt.Meru. The innings of Kilimanjaro faltering at the death there, trying to accelerate and add plenty of runs to what would be a respectable total to bowl to and try and defend. Omulongo John Powaswa makes his way to the crease. 4 balls to navigate. Flighted ball there. Played well to the onside. Picks up 1, gets off the mark. Haddad Chiberu yet to get off the mark. Another flighted delivery. Wicketkeeper in business. Lubwama picks up another, cleaning up the tail. They needed 2. They've picked up 1 so far. Flighted there from Lubwama, right in the middle of the stumps. Chibedu gets on one knee to try and access the onside. Manages just a skier The wicketkeeper does the job. 107 for 9 after 19.5. 1 ball to go. Do we see the other wicket fall with the 1 ball remaining? A very highly contested first innings here. Mt.Meru in a business at one point, but Mt.Kirimanjaro punching back, crossing that 100 runs mark to give them a psychological boost. Final ball of the first innings for Mt.Kirimanjaro. Dot ball will mark the end of the innings. Pius, the final man in, just finds a fielder to that hard shot, and 107 for the loss of 9 in the 20 allotted overs for Mt.Kirimanjaro. Martin Boji scoring 42 in 62 balls. Nathan Mupere 16 in 19. Collins Okwalinga 14 in 8. But the pick of the bowlers being Conrad Lubwama 4 in 23 in his 4. Nasul Damadi 2 in 11 in his 2. Mustafa Mutwali be picking up a wicket as well. Don't go anywhere, as the second innings will be coming up shortly. We will leave you with the highlights. And we are back out there in the middle. It is still Kilimanjaro against Mt.Meru. The run chase will proceed in the coming moments. Umpires are out, and 100 runs will be required in 20 overs for Mt.Meru if they are to notch up another victory to solidify their march towards the playoffs for this tournament. 6 teams fighting it out for contention for the playoffs and finals. East African Challenge T20, the tournament, Florida Cricket Oval, the venue. Premier sponsors Dafabit, Mukono Cricket Community as organizers, Deep End Sports TV, broadcasting and streaming partners, and I believe you're watching live on their YouTube channel, Deep End Sports TV. Everything, of course, being curated by Cricket Uganda, a member of the ICC family. My name is Solomon Lubwama Chigozi, and I will be taking you throughout this ranches. It is still Habari Zamchana here in East Africa. Of course, the 6 teams deriving their names from the mountain ranges in East Africa: Renzori, Elgon, Meru, Kilimanjaro, Satima, Karisimbi. But it will be Collins Osi Okwalinga, the man with the ball in hand, coming to ball in from the highway end. It will be experience against youth. Okwalinga having coached Edgar Mudola at Busoga College Muiri. Busoga College Muini, the record champions of the Boys Schools Cricket Week. Opening pair is Edgar Mudola and Kato Vincent, but it will be Okwalinga with the ball. Starts off with a dot ball there. Required rate is just above 5 for Mt.Meru to test victory. .45, the required rate. Mudola has that initial shuffle that takes him into the line of the stumps, prone to LBWs and feathers to the slips and keeper. Of course, playing and missing, that ball going under his bat. So 2 dot balls on the trot. And just like I was saying, that movement towards the off stump automatically makes that tram lines to extend towards the point as well. Okwalinga bowling it away from Mudola, trying to go over the top there through covers, yet to put bat to ball. Now swings across, Stern examination so far from Collins Okwalinga. I believe him and myself, being the oldest members featuring in this East African T20 Challenge this year, old dogs still have some tricks to show these youngsters, these young pups. Opportunity. Out of nothing. Kato Vincent way down the track to that, and it is the first wicket falling for Mt.Meru. Solid, no run there whatsoever. Ball picked up by Collins Okwalinga, dead-eyed to uproot the wickets there. You could hardly miss because of the distance he was in. Dead bat there from that ball returning to the bowler. Kato Vincent nowhere in the frame. What a way to go. And that will bring Conrad Lubuama on strike. No runs yet off the bat. All through the extras column. Tight things happening out there in the middle. But it will be Lubuama deciding to come one down this time round. And I usually tell batters 3 and 4 that you are also openers, because as we have in this example, 4 balls bowled and, I beg your pardon, 5. And don't a long stay for the number 2. And Lubuama right into the thick of things. 9 more wickets to get for Mt.Kirimanjaro. Wicket maiden over from Collins Okwalinga. And it is 0 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. A run out there of Kato Vincent. Peter Ochen with ball in hand coming from the forest end. Starts off with a wide there. They don't have plenty of runs to play with, but you feel that the fighting spirit of the men in Kirimanjaro that has served them so well should be at the forefront. Plenty of bowling to come. Adam Huzaifa, Jovan Komagum, Nathan Mupere, but one bounce there from Conrad Lubuama to get off the mark. First boundary of the innings. Well lined up there from Lubuama. Swing and a miss this time, but the bowler emerging victorious in that one ball encounter. Great comeback there. Luwama having lined him up and deposited him across the boundary the previous ball. And Luwama tries to exploit the field restrictions, comes in during the power play, tries to go over the top to find the boundaries and gaps. If you bowl with it at this point in time of the innings to Luwama, he will punish you just like that. Find the boundary once again. Using the pace of the ball 6, and it is maximum there. Conrad Luwama in fine form now. That ball lost in the forest, and we will see a change of ball early on in the innings. Conrad Luwama racing already to 14 in 4, and a very expensive over. 15 coming off Ochen's 4 balls with 2 more balls to navigate. That is a lost ball. A look at the highlights so far of this encounter. Edgar Mudola playing and missing the first run out there, and first wicket by Collins Okalinga. Conrad Luwama coming in and starting off in a flash. Batting responsibility for Mt.Meru rests on the shoulders of Conrad Luwama, and he's shown is equal to the task, beautifully driven down the ground, but the veteran Okwalinga in business keeps it to a dot ball. Usually we see him coming and showing flashes of brilliancy. Has only managed 1/2 century surprisingly in this tournament. Powerfully struck back to mid off, and that will be the end of the over. Good comeback there from Peter Ochen. 2 dot balls to close out the over, but a bit expensive, going for 15. After 2 it is 15 for 1, run rate of 7.50, needing 93 runs in 108 balls. One eye will be on the required rate and another on the run squad for Mt.Meru. But most of the spectators this afternoon hoping that Kilimanjaro can get back to winning ways, having already qualified for the eliminators and playoffs. 6 wins on the trot saw them leading the log, but another loss for Meru will put the cat among the pigeons, and we will see all teams trying to play for the playoffs. Mudola finally putting bat to ball to the bowling of Okwalinga. Played and missed quite a few in the first over. A dot ball it will be. A confident shot there, well struck on the sweet spot of the bat. Now Okwalinga opting for a slip. Third man there and fine leg as protection. Short covers in business to keep it to a dot ball. I told you that the examination set by veteran Collins Okwalinga to the batter is a tough one. Nothing to show for that shot there. Opportunity to run out. Conrad Rubama has declined all the runs on offer. Now deciding to run to where there is no run, but sent back by Mudola. Good over so far from Collins Okwalinga, keeping it tight. A shot in anger there from Mudola, moving. And I tell you, there is some action out there in the middle. Mudola guilty of a cardinal sin of not staying in his crease. Now the argument will be, was that ball dead or not? The umpires will come together to confer, but it would be a cheap way to die in this run chase. The jubilations for Mt.Kirimanjaro, but the deliberation for the umpires. The question is, was that ball dead by the time Mudola was apparently run out? Great work there from the umpire, having conferred with his partner, indicating that that decision is reversed and Mudola lives on to fight another day. But doing a Johnny Baisto, wondering way out of his crease. But he will tell you that that ball was already dead. A similar run out happened in the morning game between Mount Renzori and Karisimbi. Batter running, dropping his bat, but making his ground. And with the fielder with the ball in hand, went to pick up his bat and was run out. Final ball of what has been an interesting over. And the first runs conceded by Collins Okalinga. Ball 2 conceded 1. What a spell so far from the veteran. 16 for 1 after 3. Conrad Rubuama 14 in 6. And Edgar Mudola 1 in 12. Opportunity presented and not taken by the man going backwards at covers. A glorious, glorious opportunity. That ball was in the air for a while. And Mudola seems to be living dangerously. Peter Ochen will not thank his fielder for that missed opportunity. I beg your pardon, it is Adam Huzaifa replacing Peter Ochen, who was quite expensive. Could have had a wicket off the first ball he's bowled in this innings. That man quickly changed to sent to fine leg. Mupere brought in at covers. Adam Huzaifa today has to be quite consistent. Avoid those no balls that is prone to with foot faults. Make sure that his foot is behind the stumps, the crease. Had a word with him at the beginning of this day and told him that all those extras work to his disadvantage, because he boils fine spells but unable to be consistent. And if you can find somebody who can punish free hits, then you will be in trouble. But Adam Huzaifa, 2 balls into his spell.
Thick inside edge there from Conrad Luamadi to go all the way to the boundary. An opportunity for learning. And Adam Uzaifa should embrace that. Try and make sure that he picks up the lessons. Shuffling early there from Luwama Conrad. He tried to go for a drive but manages an inside edge, but nonetheless it is a boundary and runs for Mt.Meru.
These two batters do not stay still in their crease. But a good line you would feel from Fuzaifa, despite that ball going to the boundary.
A bit sloppy there from the wicket keeper, but good recovery. And a good line there from Uzaifa Adam bowling it outside off stump.
There's been great improvement from the keeping of Raymond Kagera, a bowler by trade, but in the absence of Robert Owiri, taking on that responsibility, struggled in the first two matches, but much better now.
Misfielded there by John Paul Waswa, and Wama will take the single. Good recovery, good backup from Peter Ochen. Mt.Kirimanjaro on top of the table, but they're at the back of 2 losses. So they know how important it is for them to come out and pick this win. Try and make sure that they stay on top, because if you're in the position 1 or 2, when you play the first qualifier, you still have another chance of making it to the final if you do win the second qualifier, as you play the one who will have played the eliminator.
Yes, East African bowling from IPL in that eliminator and qualifier. But good over there from Huzaifa. 6 coming off it.
Yeah, and after 4 overs, 22 for a loss of 1 is the score, and more 86 needed in 96 balls. In the IPL, the first qualifier will be today. Brilliant start there for in terms of bowling for Uzaifa Adam. Just 6 runs in his first. And now we see Collins Okwalinga returning to bowl.
Magical spell so far from the veteran. Conceded 1 so far. Started it off with a wicket maiden over. Almost had another wicket in the second over, but only 1 run coming off. And it is the first time of Lubuama facing him.
So it is the first time Lubuama facing him. And he hits that one all the way for a maximum. What a shot there, breaking the shackles early and bringing up that maximum.
Played across there, taking that ball from the one side over cow corner. Lubuama has his eye in already. And what has the veteran got in response? Because now the pressure is firmly on him.
Yeah, pressure now on the bowler. Pressure on the veteran Okwalinga. Hope Lubuama does not get excited and carried away. Good work there from Lubuama. The ball kept skidding onto the surface and just dabs it down to take the single. And brilliant wicket, 6-1. Good to see for Mt.Meru. He knows how much it is a responsibility for him to make sure that he can resist him forward. His 26 of 12 may not be enough if he doesn't stick in and see his team find the remaining 79 from 94 balls.
Certainly, we have seen him every time that he gets out. There's a sort of a collapse for Mt.Meru, realizing that he turned down several runs in the previous over with balls going to that covers and cover point region, but this time trying to run and keep the scoreboard rotating. But a good comeback there from the veteran.
Edgar Mdola with the 2 of 5 of 15 should at least be trying to rotate strike, hit the ball around and make sure that you keep the runs coming. And it's a wicket. Shuffles across the stumps. Ale, look at the celebration there for Collins Okwalinga. That famous salute as he picks up his first wicket, and it will be Edgar Mdola to depart. The second one for Mt.Meru goes.
That ball jutting off the surface there, shaped by Mudola, but ball to back of a length there. Good ball there to get rid of Mudola.
Two wickets already in the bag for Mt.Kirimanjaro. And I'll be hoping that they can find many of these to try and make sure that they pick up this win and bounce back to winning ways. 2 wickets have fallen, but a lot of work to do. The only glimmer of hope that they do have is that they still have that man in Conrad Wamarate at the crease. Mutwalibu Mustafa is the new batter in for Mt.Meru. A lot of work still to be done.
As long as Lubuama is still there, Mt.Meru still have a chance, because he's adept at finding the gaps. Can easily find the boundaries when he lines up that ball, so they need to all bat around him. But it will be the final ball of a fine spell so far from Collins Okalinga. Another dot ball to close out. (29 for 2) after 5 overs. Newman in Mustafa Mutwali, Conrad Lubuama, 26 and 12. Collins Okwalinga 1 in 8 in his 3 overs. Good spell. And the mathematics is 79 runs required in 90 balls. Required is just 5.27. Last over of the power play, and Mt.Kirimanjaro will have protection for their bowlers. Yet to see the spinners. Peter Ochen bowled one expensive one, one's taken out of the attack, but Huzaifa continues in the block hole there, and they do not take that run because it is Lubuama on strike. Needs to maintain strike as much as possible, run when the opportunity for 2 is there. But I hope he has communicated to Mutwalibi, because you don't want to get your signals mixed up and cost a run out, Swing and a miss there.
Conrad were one of the few players who have previously played for the Uganda under-19. And for them to pick up a win, Mt.Meru, a lot of responsibility is right on his shoulders there to try and make sure that they play well and come out on top. Hit up in the air. There is a waiting fielder through the hands of Jovan Komagom. The man who has ever taken 5 catches in this tournament doesn't get hold onto that chance of getting a big wicket.
And I would just say another missed opportunity for Mt.Kirimanjaro. A big wicket of Conrad Lubwama. Jovan Komagum has been safe as houses throughout the tournament. Caught 5, like you said, in that same region. And another one dropped off the bowling of Huzaifa. Mustafa getting some treatment that he dishes out when he comes in with the ball from Huzaifa. And that ball took a long time in the sky, and you would expect Komagum to complete that catch, but that is cricket for you. Today you are the villain and tomorrow you are the hero. But we live and we learn. And as the saying goes, tukole, meaning we keep working. In basketball, we have a saying that ball doesn't lie. Conrad Lubwama should have perished to that catch, but brilliantly bowled by Adam Huzaifa, losing shape there, trying to go for the biggie. A cutter there from Huzaifa, bowled it full to Lubwama, dislodges middle stump.
Good bowling there from Adam Huzaifa to make sure that he gets rid of the dangerous Conrad Lubwama. They really wanted that wicket, an opportunity missed previously, but in the end, Adam Huzaifa saying, I can do the job by myself, and he gets hold onto that chance. Tomorrow morning, Mt.Meru will square off against Mount Elgon, whereas Satima and Renzori will be squaring off in the afternoon at 2 p.m. Then the final group stage games will also be continuing on the 28th of May. Mt.Kirimanjaro in the morning and Mount Elgon Renzori in the afternoon. Whereas on Friday, the very final group stage games will be between Mt.Meru and Mount Karisim in the morning and Mount Satima Elgon in the afternoon.
My team, Mount Renzori, trying to do a Manchester United and aim for the 3rd position on the log. Now at number 5, another win also in their next 2 games should see them qualify for the playoffs. But a brilliantly bowled ball from Adam Huzaifa gets rid of Conrad Lubwama, and we are finishing up with the double headers, home and away, for the teams on the log. That ball now moving off the surface. Good over there from Adam Huzaifa. 2 coming off it, but crucially picking up a big wicket of Conrad Lubwama. And after 6, the score is 31 for 3.
Those are the upcoming fixtures that are remaining before we come to the end of the group stages. Mt.Meru, Mount Elgon tomorrow in the morning, whereas Mount Satima will take on Mount Renzori in the afternoon. Then Those are some of the results so far in this tournament. But we will see a bowling change. Austin Mujuni into the attack, replacing Collins Okwalinga. 31 for 3, 77 needed in 84. Mutwalibu Mustafa, Daniel Omuhumuza now with the big task of trying to see that they help their side to cross the line. Dot ball there to start off the over.
I thought Collins Okwalinga was coming in for his 4th over to put the nails in the coffin of Mt.Meru, but Mujuni, given that task, he does good things with his bowling, partnership breaker. Mutwalibi and Muhumuza, the new pairing out there in the middle. Meru will take the runs anywhere they come, and by is indicated by umpire Nachibule. Not so good glove work there from Kagera Raymond, but dot balls so far from Augustine Mujuni.
Yeah, good start there to the bowling. And now one hit up, and it goes all the way for a maximum. What a shot there from Daniel Omuhumuza. Still showing that I'm still around and I'm here to score runs. He picks one very nicely and sends it all the way for a maximum. He puts that to the bank. Clear signals that it is not yet over for them.
What a pun there from you, from Ivan. That ball hitting the bank of the dressing rooms, and a good shot there from Daniel Muhumuza. Will have to bat deep and long. The mathematics is still in their favor. Such shots find the boundaries, keep rotating strike, should see them cross the line.
Much better line there from Austin Mujuni, and just glided down to third man. A misfield. Ronnie Kato misfielding that one, and it rolls all the way to the boundary. And out of nothing, Mt.Meru is starting to find runs.
The youngster guilty of not having his body behind the ball. That effort will not be appreciated by Mujuni, and nothing short results in the ball crossing the boundary. Thick inside edge there, run after by the wicket keeper Raymond Kagera, and that one brings us to the completion of 7 overs. 11 coming off Mujuni's first over. 65 required in 78 balls. Meru have ensured that the number of runs required is less than the balls available. 43 for 3. And a look at the Manhattans there. Wickets falling regularly. 43 for 3 after 7.
$65 runs needed in 78 balls for the victory. Mustafa Mtwalibu with 11 off 4. I beg your pardon, Mustafa Mtwalibu has 1 off 6. It is Daniel Muhumuza who has 11 off 4. But Adam Uzaifa, who bowled his first 2 overs that have gone for 8 runs and has picked up a wicket. And the prize wicket, the one for Conrad Ruama, is now returning with the ball. Starts off with a dotty ball.
I am one very happy coach. No foot fault so far from Huzaifa. That shows that the young man takes on board some counsel. Of course, has Collins Okalinga guiding him through his bowling at mid-off. Should continue the good work and he will reap the rewards.
Yeah, the only struggles for Adam Huzaifa have been the no balls, that overstepping no balls. I think he must be having some issues with the run up. And then also he has that good ball that he balls outside off stump, but because he's still a young man who wants to experiment things, sometimes he tends he tends to get to the borderline and he gives away many. So if he could just adjust and make sure that he bowls the good areas, he is really one to look out for, and indeed one for the future. Product of this Push Cricket Academy, part of that team that went with the Push Cricket Academy to Nairobi last year in the Obia Invitation. Right in the arc and hit away. Slow outfield, that doesn't roll to the boundary. They will run and only take a double.
Good stuff there from Mustafa. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Crossing their names, it is Motwali B. Mustafa, the batter on the non-strikers end, and Huzaifa Adam. Tomorrow being Idi for our Muslim brothers. Bowled it to the surface there. Not very good work there from the men running after that ball. Haddad Chiberu, Leslie, some words coming in from the bowler.
Yeah, the bowler a little unhappy because if that ball found the fielders in motion, it could have been easier that the catch could have gotten completed.
The fielding should always complement the bowling, and good lines have been bowled by Huzaifa and Sleep. I beg your pardon, third man keeps that one within the boundaries. It is always encouraging to the batters, to the bowlers, when everything is left out there on the field for the fielders. Then at the end of the day, you can say we gave it our all. Most people will tell you that they don't mind suffering losses as long as they have given their all. So probably it is fate doing the decisions there, but if it is lackadaisical efforts from yourself there, then you have something to blame. But good there from Huzaifa. Yoka Mutwalibi keeps it out.
That's a much better line they are coming in from Huzaifa. Make sure that you're keeping the wickets in check. Too much playing this over. 59 needed in 74. You would feel that some batting here and there could see them cross the line. Sharp out swing, and it will be a dot ball to bring us the end of the over. 49 for 3 is the score as we come to the end of over number 8. Mujuni Austin will be returning to bowl. That is pulled away. And it goes all the way. Maximum there. What a shot there to bring up the half century as the team total. Daniel Mumza picking up that one very nicely, and he sends it all the way for a maximum.
Muhumza in fine form at the moment, carrying the batting for his side. Taking a liking to the bowling of Mujuni.
Tries to go, but manages the sky. Fielders running around it, but it may land safe. It didn't land safe because it went through the hands of Raymond Kagera, the wicket keeper. The man with the safest hands doesn't get hold onto that chance.
Largest hands could not get the mitts round that ball, and it pops out, and the inexperience all there for everyone to see. But Mujuni will continue. Good ball there, just slightly bouncing above the wickets.
Yeah, much better line there. He's bowled a few volleys, and he clearly Daniel Muhumuza was trying to take him on, but good adjustment there to pick up the dot ball. That is the line, but again, poor glove work there from the wicket keeper Raymond Kagera. Will give them a chance to take the by run.
Needs to quickly forget about that dropped opportunity, get his head back into the game, because if he doesn't, then before you know it, Mt.Meru will have crossed the line. Good bowling from Mujuni.
What a shot. A little too short there, and he pulled away, but it doesn't go all the way to the boundary, and they will take a double. But Daniel Muhumuza clearly showing that he will try to take on Austin Mujuni in this over.
Poor running in there. They should have had at least 3, leaving one on the table there. The ball unable to trickle across the boundary rope. There is that gradient towards the highway end and towards the pavilion, so you need to be sure that it has crossed. Good running there. Does he make ground? Direct it there from Huzaifa, but well in there by the batter. All action over there, you would say. Good pick up there from Huzaifa. But after 9, it is 60 for 3.
48 more needed in 66. Clear passage of play here for the batting team. They will have a very, very big chance of picking up this win if they could keep calm heads and keep finding the runs.
Teams from position number 2 to number 6 will not be looking on happily to Mt.Kirimanjaro. They came out in the first rounds blazing hot, 6 wins on the trot, but now seem to be gifting wins to other teams.
As we get to the business end of the tournament, you need to make sure that you're winning to maintain that momentum. But also, as a team that has been winning in the tournament, you become witch hunted because everyone wants to come and beat you. Many teams are coming to avenge. So whatever Mt.Kirimanjaro does, they should be knowing that they are the team to beat.
Certainly a target on their back, and teams have pulled up their socks when they are facing them. But Muhumuza in that kind of mood, taking on every bowler, picks up one to get off strike, comfortably supported by Mutwalibi, get some of those jabs to get off strike, bring Muhomuza in, keep rotating the strike.
Good line there. That is the ball from Uzaifa, and it passes very, very close to the off stump. So Mutwalibu Mustafa needs to be careful because that ball can dislodge your wicket.
My concern was with the keeper. Nothing happening to that ball. It is him and the bowler, but unable to collect that ball cleanly. So doesn't show good technique, but better there this time round. Another dot ball.
But you cannot blame it on Raymond Kagera just stepping in as a wicket keeper in the absence of Robert Owl. Robert Owl currently with the under 19. Yesterday he scored a half century for the Uganda under 19 against Rwanda under 19. Today he scored I think 34. And the time I last checked, Uganda under 19 was just a few runs away from picking up the win. More pace coming in from Zaifa Adams, the ball swinging away from him.
Some of these matchups are very, very interesting because most of these players train together in Lugogo, go to the same schools. So by the time they come to such tournaments, they are well versed with each other. And it is one man against the other.
I talked about the overstepping, no ball, but no effort there from the man in the deep. There is a no ball call, and the ball goes all the way to the boundary. Adam Muzefa was thinking that you could come and push it a little quicker. In the due course, he overstepped, but the ball traveling and going past Raymond Kagera, and the effort there from Austin Mujuni going in vain. 5 runs onto the total now.
Did we speak too early from our mouths to his ears? Huzaifa, that no ball coming in and a free hit upcoming, but he's bowled well. So, like we said, the exuberance of youth trying to do too many things at the same time balls it into the surface, and it is wide. So the man charging down.
The free hit continues. 41 in 62. Mustafa Mutwalibu 1 off 13, but with an opportunity to flex. And his partner Daniel Muhomuza has 27 off 14. These two trying to take the team home. Current 106 required 3. It is still a free hit. Slapped away over the head of the field and chance for a double. Good running there. They managed to return for that second one. I love the way Marvin waited. Mutwalibu Mustafa waited for it, slicing it away and picking up that double. And we've come to the end of the 10th over. 69 for a loss of 3 is the score at the halfway mark. Brilliant passage of play here for Mt.Meru. Kilimanjaro won the toss and opted to bat first, posted 107 runs. And now here we are for the run chase. But for now, it will be a bowling change. Jovan Komagom now coming into the attack for Mount Kilimanjaro. Long on, long off, cow corner, extra cover, all at the boundary. Komagom is the leading wicket taker in this tournament. He has so far picked up a total of 14 wickets, and he will be hoping that he can find more. Picks it up on nicely there, Daniel Muhumza, and sends it all the way for a maximum. You would hear it from the sound of the blade that it was going all the way. 6 more to the total there. And now Jovan Komagom already under pressure. Dirty ball, but brilliant bowling there, keeping him stuck in his crease. Flighted, but this time round not picked up nicely, and it will just be a single. But it is clear intent there from Muhumuza. Mutwalibu Mustafa there also rotating the strike very nicely. As they continue inching closer to the victory line, as they continue trying to find the runs. He tries to go, but he manages the skyer. It will land safe, trying to create room, and they will only take a single, bringing us the end to over number 11 with the scoreboard reading 79 for a loss of 3 wickets after 11. Another bowling change there being taken in by Mount Kilimanjaro, and Mahadi Sechito now into the attack. It is now a spin attack here for Kilimanjaro. Mahadi replacing Adam Uzaifa from the forest end. Long on, long off, both at the boundary. Muhumza goes down to hit, but doesn't time it nicely off the inside edge of his bat, and it will be a dirty ball. But clear intent there from him, try and make sure that he goes for a big hit. Creates room and goes, and it goes all the way for a maximum. Good batting there from Daniel Muhumuza, making sure that he feints the runs, keeping Mt.Meru in close contention of picking up this win. Well driven, but they do not take the run. Hits that one backward of the square. There was a chance to catch, but the catch not taken, and they will do take the single. Brilliant play. 23 needed in 50 balls for Mt.Meru. Slices one away to extra cover, and they will take a single. Clear passage of play here for Mt.Meru as they keep finding the runs to do one of their big hitters in Bradley Kavu. Not available because of other commitments. One more playing this over. Touch and go. End of the over. 12 gone and 87 for a loss of 3 is the score. Komagom Jovan returning to ball there for Mt.Meru. Mount Kilimanjaro. Daniel Muhumuza already in the 40s. What a whip there from Daniel Muhumuza. And it rolls all the way to the boundary. A little short and onto the borderline. And Muhumuza manages to send it down to the fences. 3 more for him to get to the half-century mark. But look at the alignment there and the timing. Daniel Muhumuza now finding the runs. Daniel goes. Doesn't pick it up nicely, but it lands safe. And they will take the single. But good batting here so far between these two. Daniel Muhumuza down the leg and it's wides. 2 of them to the total. Now runs have started to flow. 94 for 3 after 12.2. Jovan Komagom a little losing his spell today. 14 more needed in 46. Stuck in his crease. Doesn't time it, but it is not given by the umpire. Dot ball, but it is a much better ball there from Komagom. Daniel goes, but misses. That ball misses everything. And they will take the by run. Sorry, the signal from the umpire is that it might have touched something. And Jovan Komagom unhappy because Raymond Kagera didn't take the catch for him. Another poor glove worker there from the wicket keeper. Muhumuza now has 49. 1 run shy of scoring a half century. What a come innings he has played so far for his side. Dot ball and end of the over. 13 gone. 96 for a loss of 3 is the score. 12 more needed for the victory. Mahadi Sechito will be returning to ball his second over. Sliced away by Marvin Mustafa Mutwalibu to start off the over with a single, bringing back Daniel Muhumuza on strike. Muhumuza is on 49 of 29. He's been finding his hitting range. Hits that one upish, but it will land safe. And bringing up a half century there for himself, Daniel Muhumuza. A well-crafted one. Good batting display there from him, 50 off 30. 10 more needed in 40 balls by Mt.Meru to pick up the victory. 98 for 3 is what they do have. He's gone across the line, but will be lucky that that ball missed the wickets. And it will be by runs there indicated by the umpire. Needed is now a single digit, 9 more for the win. Slices 1-2 longer off, and they are pushing quickly. They will come back for the second run. That double brings up 100 runs for the team total. 101 for 3 and 7 more needed in 36 balls. I beg your pardon, 38 balls for the victory. And somehow the game sliding away from Mt.Kirimanjaro. Hit away, and they are pushing quickly for the second run, reducing needed to just 5 for the win. Daniel Muhumuza's come innings has really helped Mt.Meru inch closer and closer to the victory line. He's really found the runs, and he's made sure that his impact is felt. One more ball to play in this over. 5 runs needed for the victory. Drives it to long off, and they will take the single, bringing us to the end of over number 14 with the scoreboard reading 104 for a loss of 3. The game is a hit away. 4 runs in 36 balls for Mt.Meru to pick up the victory. There will be a bowling change. Nathan Mupere will be coming in to bowl, replacing Giovanni Komagom from the highway end. And you feel that it is game, set and match here for Mt.Meru. They will take the single. Now 3 more needed for the victory. Mustafa goes, but he just manages the skyer. And Nathan Mupere gets hold onto that catch. But 3 more needed for the win. Flight set. And Mustafa trying to pull it away, but it got off the outside edge of the blade, and the catch taken there by Nathan Mupere. 4th wicket goes, but just more 3 runs needed for the win. A few of the highlights. Oh, sorry, that is the replay for that wicket. Mwaga Arthur is the new batter walking in. 3 more needed for Mt.Meru to pick up the win. One 0-5 for 4 as Arthur Mwaga makes his way to the crease. 3 more for the win. Full toss and hit straight to the fielder. There is a run out chance. Not completed. Now 2 more runs needed for victory. Mwaga Arthur getting off the mark right away. But Daniel Muhumuza, the well set batter, will be facing 2 runs needed for the victory. A little fall, but he doesn't time it well, Muhumuza, and it is a dot ball. He was dancing down the track. Two more for victory. Muhumuza goes, but it is a Skyer. Scores are now level, and 1 more run needed for the victory. Kilimanjaro playing a losing cause. No effort whatsoever there from them. 1 more run needed for victory. That is helped its way by Arthur Mwaga, and it goes all the way to the boundary. Game, set and match, but that half century, 57 of 36 for Daniel Muhumuza, will be the highlight of the day, because it has really helped them to nudge the victory, bringing us to the end of match day number 12 of the East African Safari. A 6 wickets victory going the way of Mt.Meru. And that is the match summary there for you. Martin Wodges 42 of 64 and Nathan Mpede 16 of 19 plus Okwaningas 14. Didn't see them pick up the win. The 57 runs from Daniel Muhumuza have really been the standout and have helped them to nudge this victory. 3rd consecutive loss for Mt.Kirimanjaro. And as we come to the end of match day number 12, we'll be bringing to you the post-match presentation shortly to hear the reactions from the 2 captains and the player of match. My name is Evan Tekan Sajabi, and I've been here with Solomon Luwama Chigozi. Third straight loss for Mount Kilimanjaro in the East African Safari. But this is the post-match presentation. And I'll be inviting the captain for Mount Kilimanjaro, Peter Ochen, telling what might have gone wrong. Peter, another loss for Mount Kilimanjaro. You guys failed to find a respectable total on board, and some failed to pick up wickets. What do you make of the performance?
Yeah, like according to the way we fielded, the guys dropped a lot of catches, and also we are struggling with the keeper. The keeper we have there is not a real keeper, so we are struggling behind there, and also they dropped catches, I think.
How much do you miss Robert Will in this tournament?
We miss him so much because he was our keeper, and right now we are struggling. We have no keeper behind the stumps there.
Hard luck and go well.
Thank you.
Conrad, the captain for Mt.Meru, please come through. Congratulations upon winning that match. What do you make of the performance? Somehow when the wickets fell, was there some bit of pressure?
No, I had no pressure. Because the score was chaseable, as I said in the morning. We had to make them get runs below at 120, and that's what we did. So we came strong. We gave the team a good start, and Dan came in with a positive vibe, and he chased it down.
We are nearing the playoffs. What do you hope to improve in your team as we near the business end of the tournament?
I think I'll need to improve on my bowlers. They give a lot of extras, and my batters, they should add more responsibility while batting. Yeah, that's all.
Congratulations and go well.
All right, thank you.
For a well-crafted 57, a half-century knock, Daniel Humza is the player of match. And to give out the award is the match umpire, Nakibule Elizabeth. Daniel, congratulations upon winning the award. What was it like, the batting display for you there?
Yeah, it was quite tough, but I managed to handle the pressure while on the wicket. Since the wickets had fallen and I knew behind me, the team wasn't strong enough, so I had to take it upon myself and take the team home. But thankfully, we made it.
Congratulations and go well.
Thank you.
And tomorrow action continues as Mount Elgon squares off in the morning against Mt.Meru.